we move on to our yes next guest speaker. I won't say much about him. It's a surprise, but the surprise is that he is one of our students, and he came to us for career guidance. But while I was talking to him and inviting him yesterday for this roundtable, I was amazed to find the journey that he has been traveling since then. And with those words, dot dot dot, I would hand it over and welcome SriPrem. SriPrem, are you there?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Hi.
I would like to have your video as well, if that's possible, SriPrem.
Surely. Yes, ma'am.
So, one line introduction: SriPrem, passionate about photography, especially wildlife photography, and is always wanted and is doing his education in that. Over to you, SriPrem.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, everybody out there. First of all, big thanks to you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to help me tell my story to people. It's a wonderful feeling, and thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
starting off, telling all you guys about myself, I'm SriPrem, as ma'am clearly said, and I'm currently studying. I'm doing my first year in visual communication and digital filmmaking from the St. Joseph's College in Bangalore. So that is to start off with. But I would like to go back and start off from the time when I was like, say, when I was 10 years old, because that's when this journey totally started. So as a young kid, I was very interested in wildlife and nature and stuff. And majorly, I'd say I contribute what I am here and what I'm doing right now to wildlife, because looking at them gave me happiness. Looking at birds and animals and talking about them and looking at their behavior and all that gave me good amount of happiness. And I took up photography as a means to like record what I see basically. So basically to document what I see, and slowly with learning from YouTube and various other people out there, I took up photography seriously. And as everyone says, so from when I was like 10 years old to about like 10th grade, that is from 4th grade to 10th grade, any holidays, any summer vacation, any time I got, I was out in the wild. Thanks to my parents, a big thanks to my parents for letting me do that and giving me that encouragement, saying whatever happens, you can do it. So my mom, dad, my parents have spent a lot of money on me and for all my trips. As you guys might know, wildlife photography is a very expensive hobby. Very expensive hobby. Your camera, your equipment costs a lot. Your stay and your visiting any national park costs a lot. So it's a very expensive hobby, and I'm really happy. I thank my parents again for giving me that opportunity. So it was at this stage so until 10th grade, I was going to all these camps and stuff, and I was learning a lot. And in 10th grade came the bomb, like where each and every student faces I'd say the first step into their life, where they have to decide if they have to take in science or commerce or arts for that matter. Yeah. And again, I was confused on what to do, various career options and a lot of things to become. I want to become police officer, I want to do IPS, IAS, and then sometimes even a doctor, and a lot of things came up and a lot of things happened. But then one thing probably I'd say a good advice that my parents gave me was that pick up science, whatever it is, you can do it later. It might be a struggle if you don't like it, but at the end of the day, it will be a good shot there. So I listened to them and I took up science, and it was a good thing, I would say. It helped me understand what I really don't want. That was science. So I clearly didn't want to do science anymore. Engineering was something which I wanted to do, and then I said, no, I am not made for this job. And then it took place where I had to like find out what I want to do in 11th and 12th. Went through a lot of hardships in 11th and 12th on what to do, and if I'm studying well, if I'm doing life properly and all that. And then it came to a point where I decided that, okay, what makes me happy and what gives me happiness at the end of the day. And one thing I've come through a lot of hobbies through my years, and the one thing which stuck with me was photography. And I would like to thank my school also for this, because there was this initiative by my school called the Media Club, which encouraged young students to come out and make videos and take pictures of events which happen in school. And that encouraged me a lot and said that whatever it is, I can do something in this field. And at this point, I'd also like to talk Fermata counseling, because the tool that they offered me gave a really, really good insight on what are my weaknesses and what are my strengths. So when I took that test and I had a talk with ma'am, and it gave me a good understanding on what my strengths and weaknesses are, and it encouraged me, I'd say it motivated me and gave me that push which everyone needs to, like, at the end of the day, take up what they're interested in. So in my career skill test, it clearly showed that I had the thing to actually do something in the field of media and media studies and all of that, which actually gave me the good go for it. So thank you, ma'am, for that. And so then I took up the test, and then with 100% confidence, I was like, yeah, I am going to do this, and this is what I've been wanting to do. So I took up this course in St. Joseph's because it's a very, very broad course, I'd say, and it offers a field of study in, say, in like any aspect. And it deals from, like, so now I learned some things about drawing to film editing and sound and film appreciation and anything in the field of media and film. It's all covered, and in that way it gave me a good hope and a good insight on all the aspects out there. So that's a very, very good thing about this course. And so after college, it was all going fine and all those things happened, and then slowly I was asking myself, saying, am I doing everything enough, or is there anything I have to do more? Because this is not something which is easy, which I've chosen. Like, there's no one offering me a job right after I finish my college and go out with a degree saying, yeah, this is my degree, someone give me a job. And that's not there. So in terms of that, I asked myself a question saying, am I doing enough? And that's where I would give a lot of credit to my mentor who saw this in me. My mentor is a very famous wildlife photographer called Philip Ross, and he runs this company called the Outback Experience. So I have a link in the chat right after I'm done. So we as a company conduct forests and wildlife and nature-based camps, almost all the major forests in India and Africa as well. So we do camps and tours, and we teach. We basically a company which teaches wildlife and nature-based photography and stuff like that. So my mentor saw that in me, and he gave me this job saying, "I believe in you. Why don't you give this a shot? And anyway, so you can work and study at the same time." So I'm studying and I'm working right now. So right now at work, I'm a program director. That is, we have two divisions in work, and there's one thing called the adult camps, and there's one session called the kids camp, and I totally manage the kids camp. So most of the time during the vacation for kids and stuff, I'm traveling and I'm out with the kids and all of that. And on a daily basis, I handle direct marketing, client correspondence, and client welfare. So these three things are something which keeps me on the go. So if I want to go into this field where I feel that into the field of wildlife photography, the only way you can make money, see, according to me, money is not everything in life, but it is something, let's be honest. So in this field, if you need to make something of yourself and stuff, you want to make a career, it's totally about teaching and spreading and conducting tours and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, why not start young when I have the time and when I have the time to give for it? So I thought, why not start young? So that's when I decided, okay, fine, I'll do this and I'll work with him. I learn each and every aspect to it, wherein it helps me build me as a person. So my first year, so it's been almost 6 months that I've been working with him, and I handle direct marketing, as I told you guys. Direct marketing is where I approach schools, because schools is one major place where you can have good kids, and in terms of what we spread to the kids is conservation. Conservation is need of the hour, like all of you guys know. So talking to schools and getting in touch with them, getting collaboration with them was one of my major portfolios and major works, and I did that well. And then client correspondence was one thing which I also do. So talking to a client, and so once an inquiry comes in for one of our tours, so I talk to the client and give them all the information about the tour and tell them what's going to happen and how we're going to take about all this, and come back to even sending them the payment link and getting back to all that. So that's one more thing I handle in this. And so this is what job has done to me. So handling college and handling the job, it's very good, it's very hard, it keeps me focused, it keeps me focused and grounded on what I'm doing and where I have to be. That's a very nice thing. And moreover in college as well, I so from start, I've been a person who's good into leadership, and I feel like I can be there and take good leadership roles and stuff. So right now in college, there's this association called the Wildlife Awareness and Conservation Club, where I'm the vice president right now, and I'm taking on well that in terms of doing a lot of conservation activities and taking things forward, just keeping myself busy, networking, seeing all the options available for me in the future. All these steps, all these small things, these extracurricular activities you do build you as a person, build your resume. That's what I would say in this 1 year of everything I've done. It's built my resume in huge number. And adding on to this, I've done some work with an NGO called Go Dreams organization, where we go to homes where Muslim orphanages and Christian orphanages, because that's where the minority of the kids are, and they don't have access to good funds and good education. So I was actually teaching there for kids about math and science, from first standard to fifth standard kids on maths and science. And that was a very good thing. So I gave about 90 hours of my time teaching last year. That's a very good thing you guys should do. And more than building a resume and stuff, it just feels good. So over a point of time, let me be honest with you, I wanted to do that. I started to do that, saying that I wanted to build my resume. But then over the few days, and I was doing that, I interacting with the kids, and I was like, okay, fine, this feels good more than anything. And so yeah, so you should do all the extracurricular activities. That's what I would say. And it's been a wonderful journey, and I really want to thank ma'am for giving me this opportunity, for guiding me through this, and giving me the hope, saying you can do whatever you want to do. It's not wrong. And my parents again for standing by me throughout everything. And thanks a lot. And I'd finish by saying that.
Thank you, SriPrem. This was inspiring, and it's wonderful to know that you have covered a journey. In 1 year, you have covered a lot, right?
Yeah.
And wishing you all the best, all the success, um, to continue the good work that you're doing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. And thank you everyone for listening and giving me your time. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. So, quick two knowledge-based slides in the stream of photography. So, Reza, can you please move the slides further? Yeah. So, these are few details. Someone who's wanting to build their career in photography, filmmaking, or media, these would be the set of employers, your target employers, which is media organization, publishing companies, event planners, advertising agencies, uh, design and fashion brands. Largely fashion designers need a lot of good photography and good photographers there. Large consumer service businesses as well, when we look at hospitals, educational institutions, and undoubtedly travel and leisure companies. The areas where you can show your specialization, like Shri Prem says he wants to specialize in wildlife. So these are the other areas where you can say that uh, these could be your specialization, like crime photography. Even the police department needs right photographers. Commercial advertising, documentary, fine arts, portrait, press, scientific and medical equipments. Also, there's a huge scope there, and sports photography as well. So it's good to whatever stream you look at, technical, non-technical. It's good to have your one focus, and that's what I think the good part about Sri Prem was, that he was clear that he wants to do in wildlife. So I think there he's building his profile. Next slide, please. Yes, the skills that are required, you for photography as a career, you need to have a lot of interpersonal skills. Shri Prem said a lot of networking and connecting is required. He does lot of client interface kind of role, so interpersonal skills are of high importance. Critical thinking skills, communication skills, creative thinking, problem solving, project management, and undoubtedly as you go high up in that ladder, you need planning, high level of planning, organizing, and time management skills. Um, and can we assess these skills? Can we find out those skills? Yes, we have a tool where you take this 30 minutes online test and you can find where your these thinking, social, and emotional skills are. So in this particular report, you see that the empathy or interpersonal skills are low. So a person who's, if this person is wanting to build a career in this particular stream, then interpersonal skills and empathy are equally important to develop. Next slide, please. And similarly for this profile, you see that these, we can find out where are the skills, and these are called the life skills.